All right, so today we're going way back in time for this deep dive. You guys chose The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason.
Oh, classic.
It is. And we're going to see if its financial wisdom still holds up today. I mean, it's full of parables and stories.
Right.
So we'll be exploring what made Babylon such a financial powerhouse back then, uncovering the secrets to their success, and seeing how those lessons apply to us thousands of years later.
Sounds fascinating. Let's unlock that treasure chest.
Okay, so first, Babylon. What made it so wealthy in the first place?
Well, it's interesting. Babylon's wealth wasn't a given. Like, they weren't blessed with a ton of natural resources.
Oh, really?
No, and
Yeah.
they weren't on, like, some prime trade route or anything. They were actually in an arid valley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, far from any major waterways. So their success, it wasn't just good fortune, it was ingenuity.
They created their own good fortune.
Exactly. They had these impressive engineering feats. They built massive irrigation systems, canals, and dams, all designed to harness the power of the Euphrates River.
Oh, so they made that desert fertile.
They did. They turned that desert into fertile land.
That's amazing.
It really is. And it wasn't just about survival either. They had this ambition that went beyond just sustenance. Babylon became renowned for its wealth and luxury, and that was largely due to their rulers.
They're rulers.
Yeah, the rulers weren't just focused on conquering and all that. They were patrons of knowledge, of enterprise, and a just legal system, too. They understood that stability and fairness were key to economic growth.
Smart decisions were the foundation of their wealth.
Exactly. That's a really powerful lesson for anyone seeking financial success. It's about making those smart choices, developing valuable skills, creating opportunities,
Yeah.
rather than relying on luck.
It makes me think of the story in the book about Bansir and Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
These two hardworking friends who are struggling financially, even though they're working hard.
Right.
It seems like they represent the everyday person in Babylon.
Absolutely. And their story highlights a really important point: mentorship. Seeking guidance from those who've already achieved what you want can be huge.
Yeah, but they go to Arkad, right?
Yes.
The richest man in Babylon.
Yeah.
Asking for advice. But
Yeah.
he doesn't just give them money.
Exactly. That's the interesting part. He becomes their mentor.
Instead of a quick fix, he teaches them.
He guides them toward financial independence.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Investing in yourself, in your financial education, learning from successful people.
It's huge.
Knowledge is power, especially with money.
100%. And you know what? The knowledge that Arkad shares,
Yeah.
it's called the 7 Cures for a Lean Purse.
Oh, yeah, it's like a financial prescription for anyone struggling with money.
It is. They address common financial pitfalls and offer these simple but powerful remedies.
Okay, let's hear them. What's the first cure?
The first one is start thy purse to fattening. Basically, pay yourself first. Set aside at least 10% of what you earn for your future.
Oh, the foundation of building wealth. That's a habit everyone should try to create. But,
What?
when you're just getting by, it can seem impossible to save.
Right. Well, that's where the story of the farmer and his son Silver comes in. Remember that one?
Remind me.
It beautifully illustrates the power of compound interest over time. Even small, consistent savings add up, like a flock of sheep.
They grow exponentially.
Yes, so even small contributions, they lead to big results over time. It's not about depriving yourself, it's changing your mindset, shifting priorities.
The 10% isn't lost.
You got it. It's an investment in your future self.
Future well-being.
Yes. Okay, so cure number 2 is control thy expenditures, which I think is so relevant today.
Oh, I know. Instant gratification in credit cards everywhere you turn.
It's so true. So this one is all about creating a budget,
Oh, the dreaded budget.
which, is often seen as restrictive,
Yeah.
but it's really about taking control.
Oh, okay.
Arkad suggests listing your necessary expenses first, then those for enjoyment, and making sure it all stays within 90% of your income.
So the budget is like a financial roadmap.
That's a great way to put it. It helps you avoid overspending and make those conscious choices about where your money's going.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. What about cure number 3?
Make thy gold multiply.
Ooh, I like that one.
This one emphasizes the importance of investing wisely to generate a passive income stream.
Oh, nice. Now, I do remember the story of Asmor the brickmaker.
Yes.
He lost all his hard-earned savings in a bad investment. Those quick riches can be blinding.
I know. Asmur's story is a great example of why we need to do our due diligence.
Due diligence.
Researching an investment thoroughly before committing any money.
Makes sense.
Seek advice from experienced investors. Understand the risks. And make informed decisions. Don't chase empty promises.
So build wealth steadily and sustainably.
Exactly. Treat your investments with the same care you would any other valuable asset.
That leads us to cure number 4,
Guard thy treasures from loss.
protecting your investments.
Yes. Making sure they are secure and well managed. It's about being cautious. Arcad stresses diversifying your investments.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
That's it. This helps mitigate risk and protect your wealth from unexpected losses.
Diversification is like building a strong financial wall.
Exactly. It's a great analogy. A diversified portfolio can withstand those market fluctuations and economic storms.
Okay, so that strong financial wall.
Yeah.
It makes me think of cure number 5, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. This one's all about owning your home, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. The book presents homeownership as a path to building wealth. Back then, renting was more common.
So instead of paying rent to a landlord,
Right.
you put that money towards something you own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, you get that sense of security and stability that you don't always get when you rent.
Oh yeah, you're not at the mercy of a landlord.
Nope. And you have the freedom to personalize your space, put down roots, create a true home.
It's about building equity, both financial and emotional.
I like that. Good way to put it.
Thanks. All right, cure number 6, ensure a future income. It sounds like it's all about thinking long-term.
It is. It's about planning for the future, making sure you're financially secure even when you can't work as much.
Or when you can't work at all.
Exactly. Now, Arcad talks about setting aside savings and investing wisely. But this principle has evolved, of course.
Oh, of course.
Nowadays, we have retirement plans, life insurance, different strategies to secure our financial future.
Yeah, be proactive, not reactive.
That's it. You don't want to wait till a crisis hits.
No.
So this cure reminds us that taking care of our future selves is just as important as our present finances.
Totally. Okay, last cure, cure number 7. Increase thy ability to earn.
Ooh, this one's so relevant today.
I know, right? With the world changing so fast.
It really emphasizes continuous learning, self-improvement,
Investing in yourself.
your most valuable asset.
So honing your skills, acquiring new knowledge, expanding what you can do.
Increases your earning potential, ensures your long-term relevance in the marketplace.
Wow. We're never really done learning.
Nope. Always room for growth and development.
Okay, so we've explored the 7 cures.
Yeah,
But we can't forget about the 5 laws of gold.
right. Those are more about the right mindset for lasting wealth.
Less about specific actions.
Yeah. The 5 laws provide that philosophical foundation, like a set of guiding principles.
Underpinning the practical stuff.
Exactly. So, the first law, gold cometh gladly, and increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family.
Now, that reinforces the consistent saving habit,
It does.
like showing commitment
yeah.
to yourself and to the universe that you're serious about building wealth.
I love that. Commitment.
Yeah. Okay, law number 2. Gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. So we're not just saving,
Nope. Got to make that money work for you, generate more wealth.
like a shepherd tending to their flock.
Exactly. Be diligent stewards of your finances. Find profitable and secure ways for your money to multiply.
Great analogy. Okay, law number 3.
Okay.
Reminds me of guard thy treasures from loss. It says, gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. So, seeking expert advice.
You got it. Be cautious. Avoid unnecessary risk. Learn from experienced people.
People who have that knowledge that we might not,
That's right.
protecting our investments.
Okay, law number 4. It takes that idea a step further. Gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. Don't venture into areas that you know nothing about.
Right, without the proper knowledge.
Stay within your circle of competence. Invest in areas where you have experience, or get advice from those who do.
Don't trust a bricklayer to navigate a ship.
Exactly.
So no impulsive decisions. Stick to what you know. Or seek expert guidance.
Yes. And finally, the 5th law. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment.
Well, that's a mouthful. But it basically warns us against greed, impatience, and unrealistic expectations.
It does. It reminds us there are no shortcuts to lasting wealth.
Avoid those get-rich-quick schemes.
Yes. And those promises of huge returns that are just too good to be true.
True wealth is built slowly, through consistent effort, careful decision-making, and a commitment to learning.
You said it. It's about patience, discipline, and recognizing that wealth built on shaky foundations won't last.
Build your financial house on solid ground,
Brick by brick.
with a foundation of knowledge.
Yes. And a commitment to sound principles.
Now, we've talked a lot about these principles.
We have.
But does the book show examples of them in action? Like, are there characters who actually apply these laws?
Oh, absolutely. The story of Dobasir, the camel trader, is a great example. We first meet him, and he's in a really bad spot. He's in debt and facing all these obstacles.
Embodies the consequences of poor financial choices.
He does. But he's resilient. He decides to escape slavery and go back to Babylon. He's determined to change his life.
He's like, where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. But he doesn't just rely on willpower. He uses Arkad's teachings, embraces saving, debt management, and hard work, of course. He finds a job, saves part of his earnings, avoids more debt, and slowly he rebuilds his life.
Combines that determination with practical strategy.
Exactly. He goes from slave to successful camel trader. It shows that anyone can achieve financial freedom if they learn from their mistakes and embrace responsibility.
And if they commit to consistent effort and smart decision-making.
Yes. Dobasir's journey shows us that our past financial choices don't have to define our future.
You can always change course.
You can adopt new habits, create a better future.
Speaking of putting principles into practice, the book has the Bas's clay tablets from Babylon, right?
Yeah. Those tablets give us a look into how he used Arkad's teachings. He tracks his income, expenses, savings, debt repayment, all of it.
Wow.
Super detailed.
So it shows the importance of monitoring your finances.
And holding yourself accountable to your goals.
It's like a physical representation of his dedication to building wealth.
It is. And his approach, it's similar to some budgeting strategies today,
Oh, right.
like the 50-30-20 method.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that one. 50% of your income for needs
30% for wants.
and 20% for savings and debt repayment.
That's the one. So the tools and technology have changed over time,
Of course.
but those fundamental principles,
They're the same.
exactly. And then you have Professor Shrewsbury, remember him?
Oh, yeah. The modern-day parallel. He finds Dabasir's tablets, right?
He does, and he's struggling financially.
So he decides to try out those ancient principles.
It's amazing, right? Like a bridge between ancient wisdom and the modern day. It shows those principles aren't just for the past.
They're timeless tools for achieving financial well-being, no matter what era you live in.
It's true. And human nature, especially when it comes to money, it hasn't changed that much.
Wow, we face a lot of the same challenges, same desires, same temptations.
If those principles worked for people in ancient Babylon.
They can work for us today.
Exactly.
It's encouraging to know that we're not alone in these struggles and that there are proven ways to overcome them. Okay, speaking of success, the book has that story of Sharunada, right? The luckiest man in Babylon. It seems to challenge the idea that wealth is all about luck.
Oh, Sharunada's story is great. It really counters that belief that some people are just born lucky, He questions his grandson, Hadan Gula, who thinks their family wealth is because of some secret they inherited, like a magic formula for attracting money.
Oh, like success just falls into your lap.
Yeah. But Sharunada, through his own life, shows that real wealth comes from hard work, skill development, taking advantage of opportunities. He talks about his journey, from slavery to successful merchant, and he emphasizes his own effort and choices.
His journey is interesting, too, because it's connected to Hadan Gula's grandfather, Arad Gula.
I know, they were both slaves in Babylon. It really adds to the story.
It does, and they had very different paths.
Right. It highlights the importance of a proactive mindset.
Like, even though Arad Gula was a slave,
Yeah.
he had an entrepreneurial spirit.
He worked hard, showed his value, and eventually earned his freedom. It shows that even in tough situations...
You can shape your own destiny.
Absolutely. It's a message for anyone with financial problems, your current situation.
It doesn't have to be your future.
Exactly. By being proactive, building skills, and taking those opportunities, you can create a path to financial well-being.
So don't wait for luck.
Make your own luck through hard work and smart choices.
I like that. Now, we're talking a lot about individual wealth, but the book touches on the idea of collective prosperity, too.
Right.
like a whole city's wealth, depending on the financial well-being of its people.
The parable of the walls of Babylon is a great example.
Oh, right. The walls represent the city's strength and security.
And they're only as strong as the people defending them.
It's like this analogy for how interconnected a society's well-being is.
Right. If everyone is doing well financially, they're more likely to be invested in the city, in protecting it.
This parable is about creating a society where everyone can prosper.
Exactly. A nation's real wealth isn't just its stuff. It's in the prosperity of its people.
Which is so relevant today.
I know. With economic inequality and unrest.
Promoting financial literacy, creating opportunities,
Yeah.
fostering responsibility and generosity, it all contributes to building stronger communities.
Absolutely. And the parable shows the role of leadership, too.
Oh yeah, the king goes to Arkad for advice.
He wants to learn how to help his people build wealth.
It shows that leaders should create an environment that supports economic opportunity.
For everyone.
Now, before we finish our deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to talk about those 2 clay tablets that Professor Shrewsbury finds.
Oh, those are fascinating. They show us how to put these principles into practice.
Yeah, one tablet is Dabassir's plan for getting out of debt,
And building wealth.
and the other one documents his progress.
Step by step.
It's amazing how practical it is.
I know.
We see Dabassir tracking his income, his expenses, his debt, everything,
It highlights how important discipline and organization are.
and tracking your progress.
You got it. And his plan is really simple. He saves 10% of what he earns.
Uses 70% for living expenses and enjoyment,
And the last 20% goes towards paying off his debts.
budgeting and prioritizing.
The foundation.
And the fact that Professor Shrewsbury finds success using the same approach thousands of years later,
Incredible, right?
it shows how timeless these principles are.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how wisdom from ancient Babylon can still help us today. What stands out to you most from these stories?
Honestly, it's the personal responsibility theme that runs through it all.
Oh,
The richest man in Babylon is constantly saying, you're in control of your money.
yeah.
It's not about luck or blaming others or waiting for a miracle.
Right.
It's about taking charge, making smart choices, and working towards your goals.
I think that's what makes it so powerful,
Yeah,
you know? It's easy to feel overwhelmed by money.
totally.
Like, it can be so complicated. It feels like there are all these forces controlling things, and we just have to, I don't know, go along for the ride.
I know exactly what you mean, but this book,
Yeah.
it gives you the tools to grab the wheel and steer yourself in the right direction.
Yeah, take control. Create your own financial well-being. So
What?
if you had to pick one takeaway, one thing you want our listeners to remember, what would it be?
Okay, this. Financial success is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. It's about consistently applying those principles, making adjustments when you need to, and never losing sight of what you want to achieve.
No secret formula.
No,
No get-rich-quick scheme.
it's just building a solid foundation.
of knowledge.
Habits.
Discipline.
Yes, it's about believing you can create wealth and then actually taking the steps to make it happen.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into The Richest Man in Babylon, I think we're left with this question. What financial wall are you ready to build in your own life? What step can you take today to start applying these principles and create a brighter financial future for yourself? We hope this exploration has given you the insights and inspiration to begin your journey to financial freedom, just like the ancient Babylonians did so many years ago. Thanks for joining us. And keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.